Hello, and welcome to my stream, where Ursula is not allowed. Don't tell her that I started, okay? So it's the critique stream, which means that patrons are gonna get critiqued by me and Bones. I'm not... Ursula. Hey everyone. So if you want to get critiqued, make sure to pay $8 to our patron, and boom, shenanigans, you will get critiqued. And people like June are also allowed too. And by people like June, I mean people who want to just get one critique and then hack off. That's perfectly fine. We don't need $8 forever. Do it as long as you want. I don't care. Bones, please go to bed and start the day over. Bones is Ursula now. Yeah, he is. Ursula said she'd be back, and I got bored and lonely, so I'm talking to you guys. Hey, Lear. Did you hear that I was bored and lonely, so you came over? Lear's my snuggly cat friend. Please like June. No. People like June. Oh. Misread that. People like June get banned from the channel. Hello, Bones. Hello, Battery. Oh no, Ursula's coming back. Heck. Let's pretend like we didn't start the stream, okay? She's listening to her murder podcasts again. Always murder podcasts. Oh my god, constantly. Ruh-roh. Exposed. For real. Shh, everyone, I gotta be quiet. I gotta be quiet. Shh.
You streaming?
No.
How dare you?
The stream hasn't started yet, okay? Ursula and Bones started without you. Shh, don't tell her. Starfruit. You're rude to me.
How dare you start without me?
Shout as loud as possible. Oh, we're making the puppy cry.
Yeah, you're making the puppy cry.
No, you're making the puppy cry. Ha.
She didn't want you to leave mom out. How could you do this to her?
How could this happen to she? Also, buy my audiobook. It's now available on Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. I have fancy links too, but I can't say them. They're gobbledygook links because I'm not sponsored by Audible.
You're not a cool
I'm not sponsored by
affiliate link guy.
Yeah, I don't have my own fancy affiliate link. I have a really gobbledygook one. So if you're in the US, UK, France, or Denmark, I got you covered. If you want some free audiobooks and you want the money to go to me and you want my book, there you go. It's like being affiliated by Audible, except you can only buy one book. And I don't have a cool @Bones link. So there you go. Got an ad for Royal Chaos. A choosing game, I'm guessing, and the girl walks in on her BF cheating. Right after the girl he cheated on her said, oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
So let's start critiquing.
Let's start critiquing.
Explain to me what is happening, Ursula, for I have not the power.
Okay, so hello, welcome to the critique stream.
I already explained all this.
Oh, okay. You don't need to explain that much then. Okay, so to start off,
I need to know what we're doing, who we're critiquing.
Okay, so
why is that man dead?
Good question. Okay, so we're gonna start with Nice because they are away, and they said they're gonna come back and watch the replay of this to get their critique. So instead of making them wade through a bunch of other critiques, I'm just gonna do theirs first. So let's do it. Okay.
It will.
So what they said is, alright, so this is the first page of an 8-page mini comic I did. It's about a sad old vampire moving into a monster nursing home. This is adorable. The comic itself is already done, but I would love to know things I could focus on more and improve when it comes to art, layout, dialogue, etc. So I'll know for next
What is this
time.
furry crap you're sending me?
Is Charlie sending you furry stuff?
Okay, I'm gonna put my phone away. Lear, take my messages for me, okay? Lear has my phone. So, if you're sending him any weird stuff, you're sending it to my son.
Don't send my son weird stuff. Okay. So, first panel, there's like a lady with this little vampire, and she says, look.
Yeah, I read all this. I read it while waiting for you.
Okay.
Okay. But I guess you could read it for the chat.
Look, it even has gargoyles, just like home. You're gonna love it here. And the sign says Forever Friends Nursing Home. I'm gonna picture the nursing home. Pff, those look cheap. They probably can't even move. Well, maybe they're sleeping. The gargoyles are hella cute. Oh no.
What are you doing?
I'm drunk.
Scuffed.
The gargoyles are cute.
Stop sending weird crap to my son. I hear it buzzing. He threw it!
Lear!
Okay, I'm sorry, but Lear just threw the phone away. He is disgusted by what you've been sending him. Thanks, baby. It's now in the couch cushion.
It's like Sphinx cats. It's like cat nudes. No. Goodbye. Is he stealing your phone? Oh, hi, Lear. He looks freaked out. Are you okay, Lear?
Okay, get back to critiquing.
Anyways.
I'm the one who doesn't do things.
So old grumpy vampire, he's in the house, and then someone comes up and says, you new?
So tell me all your feelings, Ursula, and then I'll
Okay.
do mine.
Okay.
For you are the artist one.
So this is a very good, like, introduction page. It sets up the conflict pretty well, shows our setting, which is nice. And yeah, it looks like it introduces characters very quickly. It's a very efficient use of space for a little 8-page comic, which I appreciate. Sorry, I'm just gathering my thoughts. So I really like the layout of this top panel here. And it really works because it establishes our main character right away. Sorry. Am I too quiet? So it establishes our main character right away. It establishes the problem right away with the dialogue. You get a good setting here by seeing the parking lot, seeing the sign. I also like how it goes from character, the dialogue explaining things, and then the sign to the nursing home. That's just like really good setup.
Mm-hmm.
It establishes things as you go along.
It creates like a pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a natural pan of your eyes.
Totally. Reboot. Sabrina likes it.
Okay.
And then I like how it shows the nursing home. It's very spooky and very cute design. I love the gargoyles, as I said. It does feel a little disjointed compared to the top panel, because there's like some trees and like the sign. I'd love to see those kind of like outlining it a little bit to kind of attach it to the first panel a little bit. It also, I think it's just because like the top panel has like a lot of texture and like I guess not texture because this one also has texture, but like it has a lot of tone value differences, like the dark shirt and like the dark trees and stuff and the shadows on the cars, where this feels a little flat just because it's all two-tone, where it's just the whole place.
Don't bark anymore or you're gonna get muted, okay? Both of you.
Yes, Serena. The Right, so the whole place is just like 2 colors. I'd love to see maybe like the bricks colored in to a darker value, or the roof shingles or anything like that. Just a bit more like tonal or value differences, just to add a little bit of interest. But the overall design is super cute. a really good setting. 10 out of 10.
You're in timeout. You'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
Don't spam the chat, okay?
Mm-hmm. No spamming. And again, you get that nice tone, or I keep saying tone, sorry, value variance when you get inside it. I really like jumping from the establishing shot, then jumping right into you're inside it, and it's very implied that you're in there. It's great. 10 out of 10.
Why are we blessing Ursula?
Because I sneezed.
Oh.
And I like all the little details in the background that, like, they're not the focus, but you can tell that there's, like, other characters. It's a lived-in setting. Yeah. You've got these great, like, leading lines leading right to the
It's weird
vampire
that's not
space.
lived in the, like, top, like, introductory panel.
That's a good point. Because, like, I feel like this could have more hustle and bustle, like, visually.
Yeah.
And show people maybe, like...
Meandering.
Because, like, if you've been
Doing
to, like...
old person stuff.
Yeah, because when I go to, like, my Nana's nursing home, there's always people out on the patio and, like...
Sorry, I just laughed at don't bark anymore, you'll get muted.
But yeah, just people walking around, maybe, like, some ghosts or ghouls hanging out in the windows. Maybe, like... I don't know. It's up to you. But a little hustle and bustle would be nice. And especially because, like, it is the majority of the page. It's, like, the focal panel.
Yeah, totally.
Needs a bit more juiciness to it, you know?
Add some juice.
Add some juice.
For I'm the juice demon.
Exactly. And I do like you get a good sense of space by having it facing him, and then he looks up, and then it shows the guy behind him.
I have some issues.
You have issues? Okay.
I have minor issues.
Go ahead, Bone.
Okay. Because I don't have much else to say, because I agree with everything Ursula says. Yeah. The few things that I got bothered by is, like, the one up top. I just hate it when people talk but their mouths aren't open. Like, that's just a pet peeve that some people have in comics. It's perfectly valid to not have...
Her mouth is open.
Is her mouth open?
She just got, like, lipstick on the top lip.
It looked like 2 lips to me.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It just looks like her mouth is closed to me. Which I guess... Okay, I get it. Okay. He didn't read as vampire to me. Without the description, I don't feel like I know he's a vampire. Like, I know he has, like, a tooth in the bottom bit, but he just didn't read vampire. Maybe it'll be later. Maybe he just had the 2 dots on the neck. The classic vampire signifier. There's just something about him that didn't quite read vampire. It might be cleared up later in the story, but it just didn't immediately get that read. And the bottom panel where he looks up confused me. Like, when Ursula was like, oh, he looks up. It's just, like, his expression totally shifts compared to, like, his usual grumpy demeanor so far. So I thought he was, like, I'm like, why is he happy all of a sudden? And then he's back to grumpy. Where I don't really follow it entirely.
Oh, okay.
Because it looks like he's confused, but it also looks like he's just, like, a little bit like, ooh-woo. It's just a little too ooh-woo for me. Those are my minor complaints. Say if they're really nitpicky.
I find we get really nitpicky with Nice, because, like, their stuff's just, like, 10 out of 10.
Oh.
A little thing
I get nitpicky with everybody.
Well, that's fair.
Get ready for my nitpicks about swords later.
Nitpicky boy. One thing I'd say about the lettering, The tails are nice and juicy, and you can see where they are and where they're pointing.
Yeah.
Which is like, I know in the last comic we looked at by Nice, the bubble tails were a bit hard to see. The line spacing is way too tight, however, on the letters, where like you see this bottom line is merging into this middle line, and you just need to widen that, give more space.
It's funny because like your hand typography is a lot better.
Like the
though the kerning's a bit kind of muddy. Kerning is the space between letters.
And leading is the space between lines of text.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of. Nursing Home looks good, but like Forever Friends is the kerning and leading is a bit off.
It could be helped.
It's just hard to read.
It could be helped a little bit if you maybe added like a drop
Oh,
shadow.
Forever Fiends.
Oh.
Yeah, it definitely blurs together because I just read it as Friends. Okay, sorry.
Yep. But other than that...
Apologizes for critiquing. Okay. There's not tons to say on it. It's a really cute concept.
Very cute.
The top panel's really good. It does kind of become less amazing throughout, but it's still really good. It's just like the top feels very 10 out of 10, like really good comic storytelling, and then the rest is a little more disjointed and like passable in like a great way. It's still good. It's not like passable. It's just like the one is really, really good. Like I really like how the flow happens and how it's very clear, and then the rest of it is a little more staccatoed and just yeah. It's more like showing one image at a time.
Yeah.
Whereas that one flows so nice. And if you just can keep pushing that kind of dealio, you're going to do excellent. And you're going to be like a way better comic person than me and Ursula.
Hell yeah.
Want to go to the next one?
Okay, so the second piece they submitted. Here's a piece I did in Procreate. I'm thinking of redoing it down the line, so any art advice is helpful. Advice on storytelling would also be great, as I tried to do a lot of that in this one. Okay. So,
do your magic, Gary.
Gary.
McKay and Gary apologize for something people paid for. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. To start out, I like the framing of everything.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very attention grabbing. I like how it's in this, like, the 3D box that it makes. And I like how little things come out of it at the edge.
Yeah.
It's most noticeable with the dead body. The only other place I noticed it was here, with the little plant or tube.
He isn't dead.
Sorry, the bloody man person.
There we go.
The bloody person.
The bloody man person.
But I really like the shape, the frame of this. It's very interesting. It's really cool. One major thing that sticks out to me is it's very dark.
Yeah.
And hard to read.
It's very hard to see what's happening. Like, I like that you're trying to use highlight, but the rest of it is so dark. Like,
it needs just a bit more brightening up around the, like, focal points.
Yeah.
Because, like, the light here around his back is, like, 10 out of 10. Like, your eye goes straight to that because it's the only bright thing on this layout. The only other bright thing is, like, the glowy on the robot. But I feel like he's also supposed to be lit up quite a bit. So I would definitely maybe light up his entire back. And maybe give more glow off the cigarette.
Oh, I didn't even see the cigarette.
How is a robot smoking? Woo.
I like that you're trying to kind of figure out what happened in the scene.
Totally. Because I'm like... Because it looks like there's like a detective hat and coat. I'm like, was this the detective? Or was this the detective?
No, he's probably a detective.
He's the detective?
Yeah.
The dead body?
Okay, like, look, let me tell you what's happening here.
Okay.
So this guy's at his desk.
Mm-hmm.
and he's clearly got this stuff on the back wall, so he's been trying to figure something out, and he's like a detective, and maybe he was getting too close to figuring out what's going on with him, because he's taking like a cigarette break after murdering him.
See, I read
Which is a stupid plan, because you're going to get your robot DNA everywhere.
Gosh dang, robot DNA. So the way I was reading it, so I read the robot as the detective because he's got the same colors as the coat.
Oh, I get you.
And this guy's wearing, like, it looks like a hoodie and, like, a vest. And it's like, why would you have, like, a coat on top of that? And it looks like he's got a robot killing machine in his hand that he's going to come and stab DeRoby with. So I just think the robot was fighting him in self-defense.
The robot's clothes seem more detective-y, but maybe he's just framing him.
I also love how he has tight-fitting pants that allow this jet out the back of his calves. This is like a pocket there.
Yeah, it's so dark, it's really hard to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I really like the mass of the dead body.
Yeah.
Especially on the table. I find the legs are a little too lively. Like they're holding themselves up a bit too much, but the body is just a chunky flop.
Yeah.
It's like he dropped a big wad of roast beef on the table.
Oh God.
It's really good.
It's very good, yes. The shape in all of this is like really great. Like nice. You really have a way of like defining your shapes and making them feel really solid, and they definitely feel like that way here. Like you can tell that the hat has like a shape to it. It's not just like flat. Yeah, and same with the body and all the furniture and stuff, and the shape of the room feels like it has a lot of depth. But yeah, I guess like the only thing I'd really say is brightening up the highlight spots, because you've lit up his little weapon here, the dead body, the back of the robot, the cigarette, but I feel like it just needs to be brightened up a little bit more, just to make those things pop. It really gets too dark up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Which I know isn't like the focal point of this at all, but it's a big portion of the scene that's just like almost black and hard to see.
Yeah.
So I'd either trim down the ceiling or brighten it up here and there. I'm not sure.
Why isn't there a light?
Why isn't there a light? Because he's got a light.
Why isn't there a ceiling light? Doesn't like every house have ceiling lights? Except our house, because they're broken and full of bugs.
Hi, we live in a shed.
Okay, I think we can go on.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Really good stuff, as always.
Nice can't complain, so we're good. We can move on.
Take that, Nice.
Okay.
You're good art. Okay, so now
Who next?
who's our next victim?
Are we gonna yell about contrast?
Yes.
We always be yelling about contrast.
Contrast. Okay, let's go to who's here? Ace is here.
Hotels don't have ceiling lights.
Hotels have ceiling lights.
Cool.
Some of them. Do they?
I don't know. You worked at a hotel. You tell me.
Well, I never went in the rooms. I was in the serving staff.
What? There was no lights anywhere else.
Okay.
There was only lights in the rooms. The serving staff, they had to do all of the serving in the dark.
Okay, well, the service hallways and the hallways had lights, but the individual rooms might not have a ceiling light. But, like, the ballrooms had chandeliers.
Man, my last flat ceiling light in my room kept breaking. I read that I was breathing.
Oh, God.
Okay, I gotta pee.
Okay, you're peeing. Oh, you fell down. Oh, God. Should I start?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. I'm not an artist.
Alright, hey, Ace. We here. We stand. Okay. Okay. So this is the first piece I want to be critiqued. It's a character of mine, not for any comic, just for fun. I used colored inks and a dip pen to line him, and watercolors for the color. It's the process I plan to use for Inktober. I'd like some feedback on the shading, overall line/colors, and posing/expressions. So, I really like the colored line look you have going. It's really cool. When I first looked at this, I didn't realize it was traditional. I thought it was digital just because of the colored lines. It's got like a really cool effect. I like the limited palette. The line work is, there's some really nice points to it. Like, I like the line work on his face here.
Who
Like,
are we talking about?
Aces.
Oh, wow. It's a lot more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize it at first.
Mm-hmm. So it's
I
all,
can see it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what I noticed too. I noticed with your submissions this time, like, the faces feel very, like, different.
Because they're working on expressions.
Oh my god! You're doing it!
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so you missed it, Bones, but this is like traditional dip pen inks with colored inks
okay.
and watercolor for the shading and stuff.
Everything feels more meaty, too.
Meaty?
There's more meat. I don't know.
Like it feels less flat? Is that what you mean?
I don't know. It just feels like, yeah, I guess it's less flat. You can feel the flesh underneath. Like in the...
I can feel the flesh underneath.
Like, I can almost, like, I feel the bones of the jaw a little more than a lot usual.
It's a lot more defined.
Yeah.
I can see
You
that.
see it in kind of, like, there's some points, like the fingers going in there, I can feel a lot more weight. Like, there's a lot of an anatomical, like, error to it, and, like, proportionings are weird, but it definitely feels more solid.
Yes, definitely.
Sorry, I just went off on a tangent. Ursula, you go back to your thing. My first impressions. We've been trying to make stuff more 3D. Oh, good.
Nice. It's paying off.
Yeah.
It's doing really nice. Like the hands, like Bone said, there's some like anatomical stuff going on here, but
stuff going on, but it feels heavy.
This hand, I find you can tell the fingers are like going in toward him, and like his the back of his hand is like out toward us more. I think like it needs more like foreshortening on like the arm. Like the arm feels kind of bent weird, but you can feel the distance in the fingers. Like you can feel that they're going away from the camera.
Yeah,
which is great. I think you just need to add more of that to the rest of his body here. Oh right, but I was talking about the line work. So I like the places where you've added some more line weight here and there. So for example, like this little spot where his nose bridge like goes in front of his eye, there's like a little bit more weight added to the line, which makes it look like there's a shadow there, which is great. 10 out of 10. Good way to ink. Same goes for his jaw.
Hands are just squids with bones. That's how you draw hands.
Bony squids.
They're squids with a skelly.
They're hard, but you'll get there.
If you study hands, like study the anatomics of hands can only move in certain positions.
Yeah.
Like there are limits to hands.
'Cause like if you look at like arms and hands, like the hand itself is like a square is your palm, and then it's little sausage cylinders coming out of it for your fingers and your thumb, and then your wrist is like a little up and down joint, and then your arms are tubes. You got it. Don't worry. But yeah, the more you study, the more you'll get it. You're making progress. Ooh. But yeah, I like the inking a lot. I think you could add a bit more depth to the body, because in the face you've got like some nice good depth going on. Like I said, I think it gets lost a little bit in the clothing when I think there's lots of opportunities to add in that kind of like line weight to it. For example, you could put it, say, like in the armpits, or where his jacket meets like the shirt underneath. You can add like a thicker line to show a shadow there, etc., etc. I think color-wise, there could be more contrast. It is hard with watercolor because there's lots of layers you have to do with it. And there's lots of like wait time in between because you have to wait for things to dry before you can add another layer onto it. But I
just reactivate. You know what?
Yeah.
Never mind. I just let you talk. Don't worry. I don't understand watercolors.
But yeah, I think just here and there you could add some darker shadows. Whether you want to do that with ink, you could. If you don't want to mess around with tons of layers of watercolor. But yeah, I think you just need some darker shadows, mostly because like the points that stand out with the most contrast would be like the ink around his eyes and then his mouth here, where the rest is kind of like washed out and feels like it's all the same value. Yeah, overall really good. A lot more expressive, really cute. I like the colors themselves. Good work.
Yeah, I like
Heck yeah. I hope you're enjoying dip pens. They're really fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Posing and expressions. But yeah, he seems like a sassy, pretty boy who's gonna steal your lunch money.
Sup, nerds.
But he's also like secretly a sweetie.
You're pushing the mouth. There's most like sincere expression like comes out in the eyes, right? Like you gotta work with the brows a bit. Like the brow is there's muscles up in there, and I don't feel the muscles up in there moving as much. I see the eyebrows moving around, but like the brow is very flat.
I can see that because when someone's like,
well, it's like an acting thing, right? It's like
yeah.
if you're acting with your mouth, it's like lying. Like you can, yeah, because most of your expression happens in your eyes.
Yeah. So like for example,
Easy to fake mouth expression.
yeah. You can smile.
You have to think of sad things to make your eyes all sad.
Here I can show. So like you have to kind of treat, so like there's a muscle here where the brows are. Like you got cute little brows that you draw on a lot of your characters that are like these little kind of like teardrop shaped guys. But there's still like muscle working above someone's eye, even if they don't have hair on that, or even if it's just like stylized away. And there's lots of like little muscles in here. So like if you've got your eyebrows down, like you'd have a little crease here. Your eyebrow would probably come down more in here. You don't have to draw wrinkles, especially on like young characters. It can like age them up a lot. But just adding like little creases to their nose and to their brow can really help with expressing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, I know. It's just like...
It's very hard.
Yeah. And a lot of it is, like, you push it really far and then you find ways to pull it back.
Yeah.
Because it's going to look weird and wonky.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my experience drawing horse faces.
For your horse comic.
No, just... I like to draw horses in my spare time.
Bones is a horse boy.
There's
know
not
those
a lot
horse
of great
girls?
pictures of it. Well, I also draw coos.
Mm.
Lots of coo faces.
Moo.
Gotta get them express.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some more tension in the face. Because if you're gonna be snarling, the rest of your face is gonna do a little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the muscles in the face move around. And stuff.
They're all together.
Yeah.
They're a team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways. Can move on to the next one.
Okay. So let's move on. Let us know if you have any questions, Ace. Next is a more recent drawing of my most recent character, another just for fun one. He's a demon in charge of the sin of lust. Critiquing on the coloring, posing, and expression would be appreciated, as well as his design.
I like the shoulder, the left shoulder. It's weighty. It's not in the right position entirely, but it's got weight. I like how the creases work there.
Yeah.
Everything's like super creasy, like a little too much, but it's like I said, like you push it far and then you can pull it back later. If that makes.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because like with all these creases in the sweater, it makes it seem like a very thin shirt. Because all the creases are very thin. So it doesn't feel like thick material. It feels like more like soft, silky material just from the way the creases are.
But the problem I'm finding with that is that the line work is the most contrasting, like, dark point. Where it doesn't feel like a light material because it has, like, the illusion of very harsh shadows to it.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a little conflicting there. But again, I think you just gotta pull it back a bit.
I really like the hair.
Yeah.
I found the other hair was kind of flat, but I think it was just more like the shading didn't follow the contours super well. Or not the contours, you know what I mean. Didn't follow the shape super well, but I like the line work of the hair.
The hair, yeah, it's really.
I just want to tousle it.
Yeah.
I just want to grab his little head and go, oh, give him a nuggie.
It looks a lot more 3D than some of the hair you've done in the past, just because like it has like the lines in it, and the way it's shaded gives it a lot more volume.
Yeah, you can tell where the part is nicely too.
Yeah.
It's voluminous.
Voluminous.
Could be on a shampoo bottle.
Again, I like how you're pushing the expressions. Like, you've got a good expression with the mouth. Same with the eyes. The eyebrows, they're definitely, like, expressing more than in the past.
The nose is pretty flat.
Yeah, the nose does feel flat. Again, I think it's, like, the line work. I think it's these thin lines you're using. I don't know.
Oh. Everyone's hearing Matika crying in the background.
I think part of the problem, it's a really minor nitpicky, like, anatomy thing, but it feels like his face is at a different angle from his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like his nose is in, like, a 3/4 angle. That you're kind of looking like this feels like the bottom of it here. Whereas, like, the rest of his face is like this. It's, like, more straight on. And more, like, showing from the front. So it feels kind of like a little out of place.
Like that the horns are attached to the head. That's a nice touch. No, it's sometimes horns get like floaty.
Yeah, true. Where this looks like it's coming out from like the top of his head.
Yeah. They're cute horns, so I'll like excuse some anatomy things about them.
You're gonna get all horn expert.
Hey man. Oh, you in a box? That's so cool.
Oh, Matika's being released. But yeah, I noticed I really liked the overlap of the head on the shoulders. Like, this shoulder does feel like more shapely than this one. Like, this shoulder feels a little bit flat. And I think it's just where you've placed the crease, because this looks like his shoulder is coming in, where this one feels a little bit more flat. And if it was like this, just like in proportioning to his other shoulder, it would probably be out a little bit more. Or like that. Say hi. Hi, Mandika. Hello. Hello. Okay, we're gonna go back. I'm sorry, Bones, I scratched you. My needle claws. But what I really like what you did, where I don't know if you did it before, I'd have to go back and look at your old work. But I really like how you've done some foreshortening on his neck, and it is nicely highlighted by his little choker thing, where you can see the shape of the neck really well, and it shows off the contour really good. And I like how you have overlapped, like, here's the neck, and it's overlapping, like, the shoulders, which are here, and then you have the head overlapping. Like, that just adds, like, really good depth to it, and it really looks like he's, like, leaning forward.
The work's becoming really solid.
Yes. It's getting a lot more, like, you're modeling your forms. There we go.
Do you want to talk about contrast now?
Contrast needs more contrast.
I like your soft colors. Like, don't get me wrong that, like, I like the soft colors you pick. I like pastel. And Ursula didn't like the contrast in the last one, but, like, I kind of liked that it was, like, saturated versus, like, kind of a desaturated thing. Like, I felt it could kind of work with softness. I think you could push the brights in it. Kind of like, where the paper is white and you just, let some white show through. Like, but yeah, maybe, like, saturate the pink further. But, like, I don't know. Like, you can still do soft things.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not trying to say, like, don't use pastel or use, like, really, like, light saturated colors. Like, I think that's fine. Like, I love your color choices.
I think you should try, like, experimenting beyond your typical range so that, like, you can come back to your pastel with, like, some new knowledge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because to be contrasty with, like, pastel, you don't have to go, like, super dark. You can go, like, more to a mid-tone because the rest of it is so light, it'll contrast.
I find that the highlights and shadows in this feel a little random.
Like the placement of them?
Yeah. I don't know. You explain it. You understand color way more than I do. All I draw is horses.
It's got some good directional light. I think... Because, like, it's subtle, but you can tell that the light is coming in from over here. Because you've got, like, the shadow is here. The shadow on his face is here. The shadow's here. Like, it makes sense. It's very subtle.
Okay.
I think what might be standing out to you, Bones, is that the shading on the hair is so subtle, it's hard to tell where the light is coming from.
Because the face is... Something's weird about it. Where the shadow... It might be just because I can't see it. Okay, I see what you're saying. I just... Yeah. Maybe it's just the contrast where it's just like I can't even really...
Yeah.
Tell what's going on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like each individual part has, like, shading, but, like, there's, like, not, like, a main light source.
I can see that. I think it's also missing highlights.
Yeah.
Like, that can really help with showing off where the light is coming from, is if you added in some more, like, even lighter tones. Like...
Manika's back to a wooing.
Oh, like if you added in some, like...
Ursula draws, and we sit quietly and watch.
So if you added in some highlights on the hair and, like, on the shirt, you might have to get softer than I'm doing, but... That's too shiny, but, just, like, showing, like, just lightening it up here and there. I think part of the issue is, like, yeah, there's no highlight on his face. Like, his whole cheek area is shadowed, even though, like... And I think it's just because he's blushing. So I think you need to, like, lighten up the blush a little bit so that you can still see, like, the light hitting the plane of his face.
Yeah, because contrast isn't just about, like, adding darks. It's about, like, adding light, too. It's about contrast.
Yeah.
How do I send in a comic to critique? It's for $8 patrons. Once a month we do it.
Yeah, there's a link to our Patreon in the description.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Yeah, I think you just need to keep pushing, like, your forms more. Because, like, you're so close. And it's looking really good. Like, everything you show us just keeps getting better and better.
Totally. You've made, like, crazy progress.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very impressed. Always impressed. Because I don't even recognize it. Like, if you showed me the two, I think, like, years have passed.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really like his design. He's really cute. I would watch an anime about him.
Gonna look at the last one.
Yeah. Lastly, the most recent piece I finished. It's my Lust Demon again, because I like drawing him. I like feedback on the same areas as the previous one, and also some thoughts on how the softer line art looks in comparison to the all black lines in the previous one.
I think the mouth is looking at, like, a different angle than the face. Something about, maybe it's, like, the teeth or the lips or something.
I think it needs to be moved over, like, a little tiny smidge.
I think it's just the teeth curl in, like this. Where it's, like, really tight, so it looks like it's from a different angle.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, his fangs are giving an illusion right now that they're, like, curling in at a distance, so it looks like there's, like, this thing going on. Instead of them looking more like,
Thinking about, like, teeth placement and how they fit in jaws when you have open mouths is really hard.
It is.
And it's really good because it makes you think about the jaw. So open mouths are, like, good for studying.
Yeah.
It really, like, pushes you to actually think about, like, how jaws work. Because if you think about his lower jaw, how it's open, you can't really see it in his face. Where it looks like his mouth has just, like, descended into his chin somehow, rather than his mouth being part of his chin.
True. Because when characters open their mouth, their jaw gets longer.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you have a part here.
And when you're studying it, it'll look horrifyingly ugly.
Yes.
But it's so hard to get right. I know it with horses.
Yes.
Their jaws, like, don't open super wide, but then their lips flare open. Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, it's helpful to remember that, like, your teeth don't, like, move, but your lips move over top of them. So, like,
exactly why I hate mouths.
It's hard because it's like, yeah, it's difficult.
But when you can get a good person who's yelling, it's so good.
I highly recommend just looking in a mirror and make weird faces at yourself.
Draw some furries too, because they have, like, so I'm just saying that, like, animal jaws are way more because they're pushed out, so you actually have to do it, whereas, like, humans, you can just be like, it's flat, it's fine. But then, like, you go back to humans, you're like, oh, jaws are your thing. Yeah, freaking furry snoots.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
It took a lot to figure out furry snoots.
Yeah. Doesn't it help, though?
It does.
Yeah.
It helps you understand the lower jaw versus the top jaw.
Yeah, take someone's skull, too.
Yeah.
Really helps.
Just take out a skull.
Hey, get over here. But yeah, mirrors help, too.
But yeah, okay,
I'm being critiquey because we've said so much praise at this point. Because this one's very similar to the other piece.
True. The line work.
You do avoid a bit of the problem with the floppy shirt with, like, a line that's more soft.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it makes them more...
less of, like, focal points.
Yeah, totally. They blend in more with the shirt and make it look more like wrinkles instead of, like, a new feature. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lint.
Who's
emailing me at my time of work? It's very important. Oh, it is important.
Okay. But yeah, again, things are feeling a lot more structured.
That hair's still super fine.
Yeah, the hair's great.
Oh, it's so cute.
Again, you can see the shape of it really well. It looks very, like, voluminous and it follows the form of itself. It's great. I like the structure of the tail.
Needs more contrast.
Yes, it needs more contrast on it, but I do like the...
Especially because it's such a close shade to the shirt.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Where you'd want to darken it where it touches the shirt. Especially because you do have shadow.
Those
like right
eyes.
Yeah. They cute.
They come hither. They feel more... The eyes feel less pasted on in this. They still don't feel like there's eyeballs, which is like a whole new level of thing where you have to realize that there's spheres in theirs and you have to apply a sphere. Well, you don't have to, but it's something you should learn to do. But like the irises are really pretty.
I think you've also...
And the lids are nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Because the lids add that like implication that the lid is covering a sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. The eyebrows also feel a lot more connected to the eyes in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because you've got like the lids here and the eyebrows are like touching them, and it just makes them feel more like structured. You've also got the nose aligned with the eyes really well.
They're just stealing various
Oh
parts
my
of
god.
West.
Yeah, where I think you've got the alignment on the face, the mouth definitely feels like it's slightly off, but like the upper half of the face is like everything's aligned. It looks really cute. I think there's like more form on his cheeks compared to the last one, where like you can see the... Sorry, I need a darker color here. You can see like the structure of his face more from the way you've shaded it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell that's like the cheek plane. And I think it's because you've added these little shadows underneath his hair. And you can see where they touch. Really nice.
They good.
They good. 10 out of 10.
Nose needs help. Flat nose.
Flat nose.
It's because you tend to line noses like they're on the side because you always have the line for the bridge.
Yeah.
Whereas the bridge is gonna be you wouldn't be seeing it like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, kind of.
And this one more because it is
A little more, but like not all the way up like that.
Yeah.
Also, I think the bridge makes it look like it goes up into his forehead, kind of weird.
Yeah, it looks like this when his nose should be a bit more like this. I mean, depending on what kind of nose he has. But always be careful when you have stuff overlapping that you're understanding the structure underneath. You're not just drawing this on top and then this is just a mystery. A lot of people have trouble with drawing skirts. Like if you don't draw something under the skirt, then the legs can be like coming out of nowhere.
Octopus style.
Yeah.
More nose practice. Got it.
Yeah. Overall, really cute.
Yeah, keep it up. You're doing really good.
You're like making big strides, my friend.
Also, work on your shoulders because like you're getting them really volumey, but they go traveling places.
Yeah, like this one, they feel a bit too long.
It looks like he's dislocated it.
This one looks off. This one looks okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, it's hard because you're stylizing, but at the same time, it's just...
You have to just make a rule for what it looks like and then stick to it in your own stylized way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can have shoulders go all over the place, but you have to make it, like, consistent between both shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. Good work. Heck yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's go. Let us know if you have any questions.
Until then, let's get to...
Let's do Hex.
Hex.
Okay.
Oh, it's nice.
First full body draw I did of Tia Ohala, OG from another OC group, but she's also Silas's therapist. So it's just lady.
I like the silhouette right off the bat. Nice silhouette.
Yeah.
Strong form.
Heck yeah.
Very readable.
Yes.
Say all the things, Ursula. Beautiful art girl.
I don't know how I'm gonna focus because I'm super spaced out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's recorded.
You can always come back, watch it later.
Yeah, no problem. Basically, that's allowed.
Hell yeah. So I think, yeah, so very strong silhouette. The shapes feel very solid. Like, they feel like it feels very structured. Even on, say, like her skirt, which, like, it doesn't have any shading on it, but just the way that, the outlines work on it, it still feels structured.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Same with the legs. They're very, like, well proportioned together. Sorry, I gotta find the right layer. Oh. Like, they feel very balanced and structured. Here, and same with the high heels. Like, they don't feel wobbly or broken. I feel like I could walk in those heels.
You're a liar. You can't walk in heels.
Shh. Don't tell nobody.
I definitely can't walk in heels.
No, you would break your ankles.
I've walked in heels more than you have, though.
Possibly. Yeah, same with the other, like, the rest of the character. Like, the face feels very, like, structured, the whole body, etc., and the arms. There's a few proportion issues. Like, the neck and head feel much too large. And the neck feels very long.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the body. And the arms feel very short.
Yes.
Yeah, because, like, here's one section of the arm, and there's, like, another section. And then there's the hand. And it would probably be helped by making the head smaller and bringing the neck down. Yeah, because okay, so I don't think the arms are too short. I think just the head is too big, and it's throwing everything else off. But yeah, again, that can just be fixed by, like, changing the head. And I'm having a big head issue lately. I'm working on it. It really helps if you're struggling with drawing big heads is to draw the head last. So start by drawing the torso and then work outward. And that really helps, like, make sure the head...
It's first grade.
Shut up.
There's a lot of big head problems.
Yeah.
And then when you learn how to draw jaws, you have big chin problems.
Yep. Oh man, I can't draw heads last. You gotta do it. It'll teach you how to draw them really good. And I think... Okay, sorry. So getting back into this. The color palette's great. I like how the reds, like the red skin tone goes with, like, the red and the gold jewelry. Like the red shirt and heels. And some good contrasts color-wise between, like...
Battery's admitting to Frankensteining the head down.
No! I've done that.
Yeah. I know you have.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. I did not realize that the color of her suit is a really just, like, gray-red. To me, it looks green.
Huh.
Or blue. It looks like a turquoisey color, like, way down here. To me. But it's not. That's crazy. That's color relativity for you.
It looked red to me.
What?
It looked red to me.
God, demon.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay. It does look kind of...
Right? That's
Yes.
crazy illusion.
Big illusion energy.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, I like your crazy magic skills. Gray looks like green next to red? Yeah. Well, that's cool. The one thing I'll say, though, color-wise, is you've gone the opposite of previous contrast issues, where before you had everything being very, like, washed out and too light, but with this, I feel like everything on her is too dark and all the same tone.
Yeah.
Or value, I mean. So, like, if we look at the value here, like, around here, like, here's the skirt, and here's the
Yeah, I
legs.
know.
And here's the shirt. Like, nothing.
I'm proud of you for going dark, though, Hex.
Yes, you're on the right track, and I'm glad you're experimenting with like using darker colors. But
We're
like,
proud of you.
yeah. So instead of going like everything above the halfway mark in the colors, you've now gone everything below the halfway mark in the colors. So everything's really dark. The only
Wow, you use something really desaturated.
yeah.
I'm proud of you. You also tend to be very desaturated in your colors.
Yes.
And you moved some saturation into that orange. You're still kind of desaturated throughout, but like,
yeah,
that's cool.
getting better. Yeah, her skin also looks very ashy. And I think it's because it's a little too desaturated, which I think can happen when a lot of people try to color darker skin, is they tend to make it desaturated and dark, when a lot of the time it's very saturated and dark.
There's blued in there.
Yeah, blued.
She's not a vampire, unless she is.
Unless she is, then hell yeah.
Right direction. Unless
yeah.
you like saturated vampires like I do. Make them purple.
I love it when vampires have like green skin or like purple skin.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, or blue.
Bright pink.
Bright pink vampire.
Oh my god, that's some pretty art.
But yeah, I love her lips. We've got some really nice shape going on in there. Same with overall. Like, you're really great at getting like really good shape language and making the shapes feel very like solid. I think here it's really only like a color issue and the head being a little big. There's some verse where she's a werewolf. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Werewolf therapist.
My werewolves need a therapist.
But yeah, again, the shape language is great. You've got like some good circle going out throughout, like her hips and like the earrings.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got this like...
I like the neutral expression.
Yeah.
It's a very solid face.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to see because of the contrast, but
Yeah.
still good.
Push your contrast. Use like something from that's really bright and stuff that's really dark, and push it really far, and then eventually you can pull it back. But yeah, overall good work. Very cute. Good character. Oh no, zoom in too far. Ooh woo. So yeah. Stop.
Ah! Throws canvas
Keep
around.
zooming.
Zooms out
Zoom.
to oblivion.
Zoom. Okay. So the next one. A smooch in the pirate verse. I gave up on the hand situation. Okay. Okay. Why are we right clicking?
Ursula yells at me when I try to touch the computer.
Okay. I gave up on the hand situation. They're supposed to be in a dark cabin with the only light coming in through a small window on the door. You okay? Oh, goodness. Oh, that's fair. Okay, so looking at this, and I know there's another version where it's a little cleaned up, I think you mentioned. Also at Smooch, Mir isn't my character, so the colors are just picked from my friend's art. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
You've been eating a hint of salt chips. I haven't even made the dip.
I just used cream cheese. It's tasty.
Freaking monster.
Bones dies on stream. Okay.
Ooh. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay.
Say things, Ursula. Critique. You're the artist. I have a whole script to critique at the end.
They're better at making the designs better contrast than me. Okay, so I think there's good contrast between the characters' colors, because you've got Silas, who's got like the bright orange and he's very pale.
Like there's red in her eye, their eye. Is it red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's red and it matches the red of the hair, so it creates a little interchange there.
Yeah, I like it.
Some little through line action.
Same with the gold in their earrings and such. Now it's also close to like the reds and the oranges.
Yeah.
And his eyes.
Okay, his.
I think the major color issue is the background compared to this character's hair. It's hard because I know you're trying to draw like a really dark cabin scene, but I think you need to push the background to be even darker, and you might need to like lighten up your friend's character's hair a little bit, or add in some highlights to really make it contrast. But right now, like, Manika's coming for a snuggle. This section here just like blends into each other, and like it's really hard to tell apart like where the hair is and where the background is. But yeah, that can easily be fixed by just messing around with the values a little bit. But yeah, the contrast is definitely better here. Oh, goodbye, Madoka.
Madoka back.
Oh, this is just wrestling Madoka in the background.
Oh, she's thirsty.
Oh, she's thirsty.
Where you going?
Oh no. Who you fighting?
Here. On the couch. Or you're back downstairs.
Oh, lay down, baby. Oh, sits on me.
Breathes into microphone. I'm sorry.
Madoka. Okay. Anatomy-wise, I really think you've done a really great job with your friend's character. Where, like, the jaw really works. Like, the lips are nice, the nose is nice. You can see everything, even though there's all this, like, hair in the way. Same with, like, the back and the shoulders are really well proportioned. Like, yeah, even though there's, like, clothing and, like, hair in the way, you can still tell kind of, like, everything that's going on with him. I find Silas feels kind of, like, stretched out, and, like, there wasn't an underdrawing for his face. Kissing is really hard. It's the same problem as, like, skirts. When I was talking about, like, hair covering up stuff, is, like,
multiplied by 2 because you have to deal with 2 people.
Yes. Where someone's part of their face is, like,
consumed by the lip.
Yeah, and it's weird, and, like, heads have to tilt for kisses to work, so it's strange.
Or they have to squish their noses together.
Oh, yeah. It's just cute. I was really struggling with Silas on this. It's okay. I still struggle sometimes with getting characters to kiss. There's a lot going on.
Me too. But I struggle in a different way. They're just like, I'm not ready. I'm like, it's midpoint, child.
That's midpoint.
Do it.
Kissing the girl. Okay. Yeah, because if I was to draw Silas in, his face would be so skinny.
Oh, are they kissing lips?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were kissing his cheek.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, because you can see, like, Silas's lower lip here.
Oh, yeah.
Interlocking. So, like, right here is, like, 10 out of 10. You got it. So I think the issue you're running into...
Oh my god, Madoka.
I gotta get going. Thank you for the critique earlier. It was super helpful. Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming, Ace.
Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah. Right. So I think the issue you're running into is, like, you need to, like, solidify the jaw of Silas here. So, like, for example, he needs room for his jaw to come out. And his head is also tilted, so you have to show, like, the underside of his jaw. So either he needs to move the neck so he's stretching out more like this, or you could have it more straight like this. But either way, he needs more room for his jaw to breathe, and his head probably needs to be tilted and put into perspective. So what I recommend when you are drawing kissing is to just draw both of the characters on separate layers, just so that you can make sure that all their jaws and mouths and eyes and stuff are all in the right place. And the hand, like I know you mentioned that like you gave up on the hand, but the hand looks pretty good. The only thing that I think could be worked on is like just bringing the fingers out a little bit. But like you got everything else pretty much in the right place. It's looking good. You can tell he's holding on to the collar. Yeah, I think that's the only like big problem is just Silas getting kind of lost behind the other character. Yeah, overall pretty good.
And get yourself some line work. Draw with one sweep.
Oh yeah.
I can see those little ones.
Little scratchies.
One movement.
Mhm.
Try your best.
Try your best.
Get your whole arm into that drawing.
And there's the brightened up version without the shadows. Yeah. Yep, same feedback as above. I just color sketches in mostly. I never finished line art. Alright, let's move on. Let us know if you have any questions. The third thing, tea time. Sorry, it was my tablet.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
You're bothering us.
Sorry.
We're just here trying to enjoy your stream. Make
Okay.
America cry.
Madam Claw, you're always crying. Oh my god, my life drawing teacher called me out for scritchy lines. He called it student line work. Oh no. Call out post.
Hey man.
Get your chicken scratch out of here.
It's true. There's a lot of reasons why you don't do it, and one of them is for safety.
Oh, she's so thirsty. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah blah blah.
Okay. The third thing, Tea Time, is a series run by my OC Asha, where they interview queer celebs. Alternating dialogue includes Asha going, "You did what?" or Silas basically calling himself a bastard for something he did as a very anxious teen, and now he's a disaster man. It's a singer-musician verse, and he has a reputation. Anyways, I said I had some stuff I was working on that had attempted backgrounds, and this is one of them. I never even draw characters interacting with objects, so you know I did my best. And while the flag wall is a disaster, it's on purpose. Asha delights in everyone telling them they should have gotten someone to create that for them, instead of just going crazy with the paints. So obviously they leave it up. Okay.
I like the flag wall, honestly.
Yeah, it's really cute. I want that on my wall.
I don't.
There you go.
Oh, as a background for a set, sure. For my
Oh.
life, no. I want venticular portraits of wolves.
Very good.
Called me out like, do you do this thinking, well, one of these must be right. It's so real.
Yep. You just gotta choose one line and stick with it.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta feel out of shape for a bit and then you do it again.
Yeah.
And that's called iterative drawing, where you
Hell yeah.
where you draw like bones and it's just like a freaking tornado. And then eventually the third time I draw it, it's a cat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta iterate real fast.
Real fast.
Okay, so you did do some line work, but it's a little sketchy here and there.
Where is the jaw?
Figuring out cat jaws.
Just life.
Okay.
I like her sitting, them sitting. I like the one. I'm just really bad at like directional, which helps. I like the one that's not Silas.
This is Asha.
Asha.
Yeah.
Sitting on the chair. Like the chair isn't in perspective, but I like the weight of their butt in the chair.
Yeah, totally.
It's very solid there. The legs are a little floaty because I think the ground isn't in perspective, but like the butt to knee, very solid, and I like their calf.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Even like the weight of the elbow on the knee is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play with Lear. He's a cat on your feet. You squish him, and you make loud noises when you do so.
Okay, so for Asha, they, them, and she, her. Okay. So yeah, so you're very good at like defining the shapes for your characters, because like Bones was saying about Asha, like with the knee and the butt on the chair and stuff. I also really like Silas sitting in the chair with like his legs all akimbo, because you can just from the overlap of like the arm of the chair and like his leg going over, that feels like someone like lounging around in a chair. And just like the way his hand is like rested on the top of the chair, and like the end of his other arm is like rested on the arm of the chair. Like it feels very like they're actually interacting with like the objects around them. Like I agree with Bones, it does feel a little floaty because the perspective on the chairs feels different than the perspective on the characters. Yeah, and same with the table here. It feels a little floaty. This is a super minor thing, but there's like a major merger happening with this bottle here. So a major merger is like when an optical illusion happens when two objects are overlapping, but it makes it look like they're on the same plane instead of having something in the background versus foreground. So this bottle cap, because it's like almost the same color as the flag back here, it looks like the bottle has been cut off / merged with the background. So just be careful with little things like that. Because my eye went right to it.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a bottle cap there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see ya.
Because it looks like the bottle, like which is in the foreground, just melds in with the background, and it's very jarring.
Mark and not Mark.
I can barely draw a chair / table. I have no idea how to put it in perspective. It's hard.
I mean, chairs, okay, they're hard, but they're easier than people, and you can draw people. So,
True.
give yourself some confidence.
Hell yeah.
You can do it. You can draw a chair. They're just boxes. They're just puffy boxes.
I'd recommend, because you do pretty good perspective on your characters, what I'd recommend is maybe breaking them down into shapes whenever you draw them. Like, draw them how you normally would, and then kind of break it down. And then put your perspective rulers down on top of your characters, and then draw the background in around them. Like, obviously, like, just to practice and start, that would be a good place to start. Because, like, based on, like, Asha here.
Don't think of perspective as math. As soon as you start thinking, like, perspective is a math thing, you're never going to do it, and you're going to run away because you're an artist, and you're afraid of math. Perspective isn't math.
No.
It's just looking at things and drawing them, like you usually do.
Hell yeah. So, like, for Asha here. So there's a line here and a line here from, like, their waist and their knees and their shoulders. And, like, you've got it all, like, in perspective. You just need to, like, apply it to the chair. So, for example, the chair would be more like this. And then...
I'm good at math, listen. Okay. Fine. It's math. You're good at math. You're good at drawing. You can do all perspective things.
Because I think what you did here with the chair is you have it going off like this, but it's more like this. So, like, if you just aligned it with your characters, you'd be, like, golden.
If you just do it. Ursula, you got like magic art. You're just like you just put it in the perspective.
Like, you just follow the lines that are naturally there. Like, it really helps when you take the time to like break things down into 3D boxes. Like, the way you start with that is you learn how to draw a 3D box and then turn everything into 3D boxes.
Everything is a box.
Everything is a box, and that's how you put it
true.
in perspective.
It's literally people. People are just a bunch of boxes.
We're
stacked.
just a bunch of boxes, and the little corners have been rounded down into cylinders, but we're all just boxes. And then for tables, because like circles are scary, right? Like, how do you put a circle in perspective? Guess what? You put a box around it.
It's true.
And then you shave off the corners, and there, you did it.
Guess I gotta stop art because boxes are my nemesis.
Oh no! No, don't stop. You can
Love
do it.
box. They're your companion cube.
Exactly. You won't bring them with you through these tests. Don't put them in the furnace. But yeah, I think you can do it because you can do it with your characters. You're like 10 out of 10 with like having characters that are like structured and in perspective. I think you can apply it to backgrounds because you're hecking great.
Powerful.
You're powerful.
Step 1, draw a box. Step 2, add details.
Literally. I know it's harder than what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to like tell you guys that it's not scary. You can do it.
Yeah, perspective ain't scary. It's boxes.
It's boxes. It's just boxes. But yeah.
Become an expert at drawing boxes. I'm just seeing Amalthea as boxes right now.
She's just boxes. Look.
Cats are just swoopies.
Swoopy doopies. Swoopy boxes.
They're just swoopies. You draw the boxes first. I love that cats have like a triangle bit, and then they go.
Yes.
It's just triangle, tuck in. Horses do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Horses are just cats that stand on their toenails.
Listen. Okay.
Stop doing keyboard smashes.
Ah.
The thing doesn't like it.
I have a work in progress I need to finish the lines on, and the thing that's stopping me is him holding a box. Oh no. And I can't get the box in the hand holding right. Boo, you just gotta figure out...
It's just boxes holding each other.
Exactly. What you gotta realize is you've been drawing boxes this whole time.
Yeah, everything's actually a box.
Silas is a box.
You now work in a box warehouse for 70 years before you can draw.
Yes, that will be the Ursula
I was like,
Grey
listen,
School.
I live in a box.
Life is a box. Elsa cutie. Anyways. Minecraft. Use Minecraft to learn how to draw. Okay. You've got... You've got...
Amalthea. Lizard can't be your boyfriend, sorry.
You've got good character expression going on in here. Like, I can tell that Ash is like, what? You did what? And he's like,
nonchalant.
yeah, I ran down the street on a donkey in nothing but a pair of boxers. It was great.
Come on, Speedo.
Speedo. Therapist, the boxes aren't real. They can't hurt you, Ursula. Everything is boxes.
Hello, you are under arrest, Amalthea.
Amalthea.
For you cannot stand on the box. Don't.
I love when you pick up Amalthea, she'll just put like a paw in your mouth, like shh.
Whenever you talk to her, she just like puts a paw in your mouth.
Like, go away.
I think she just doesn't like my breath.
Oh. Well,
Or
news
she's
to
just
her, she's stinky too. Oh, kisses.
No, let me go, Dad. Want to chase lizard.
Okay, but yeah, the character expression's really cute. It's very full of life, I find. I think, like, the back wall really helps, like, bring a lot of life to the scene.
I like the bi socks.
Yes, those are really cute. The contrast in this is pretty good.
more saturation. You have like a rainbow wall, but it feels
Yeah.
gray.
I don't mind it feeling gray because I think it helps the foreground
I guess
characters
that's
pop
fair.
out.
I guess it just feels like it's in shadow when this would be like a studio or something.
That's true. If you're thinking about the lights, like the back would be lit, and then the foreground would be lit. I think you need to do more with the shadows and understanding where the shadows are to really help kind of like pull things out and make them pop.
Hi, beautiful.
So for example, like the lights would probably cause like shadows to cast behind them, and like maybe the shadow of the table, etc. I think you need some darker shadows like on the chairs. Like you have some going on here with Silas's chair. I think you just need to push it more elsewhere and use darker shadows and more highlights.
If you go quiet, maybe we can hear her purr.
You guys hear the purring?
You can hear the whimpering, probably. Okay, sorry.
Oh, he purring. Honestly, he's very impacted by what he did. But he deals with issues by making jokes.
Oh my god.
Woo.
Did I write him?
That's like Bones' favorite character type.
It's Lul.
It needed to be in the background. It was too bright with the foreground. Yeah, that's what I figured. Because, like, the brightest things are, like, Silas.
I think it's
and
just
Asha.
dark. It just looks dark to me, everything.
I can see
Like, I could see it being, like, a desaturated, more pastel-y thing. But it just looks like it's in shadow. Because it's in, like, the lower range.
I can see that.
Because if you just put, like, if you brightened it right now, like, I bet it would look really good. It would make everything pop.
Hell yeah. Because I do like the color pop of, like, the clothing they're wearing and, like, the pillow and stuff. Yeah. It's hard. Especially with, like, a scene with all these colors.
Everyone quiet. You hear the purrs, guys? Can you hear the purrs?
You hear the kitten purrs. Yes! You heard the purr.
A rare Malthea.
Oh. We're multi purrs.
Malthea's actually just purrs all the time.
Yeah.
But she rarely hangs out with us. But we learned if you just force her to hang out with you, she freaking loves you.
She just stays. And you're like, okay. But she won't approach you.
Yeah. She's shy like that.
Yeah. Oh, she's doing the big snuggle. Sorry, I can't critique snuggling my cat.
Sorry. Critiques are canceled. My cat is snuggly right now.
Yeah. But yeah, Hex, was there anything else you wanted us to talk about
Yeah.
with this stuff? Otherwise, I think we might move on. But for now, I will snuggle Moti because she just way touched.
That's fine.
That's valid. Thank you. Oh my god, the big purrs.
You're such a purr machine.
You're good? Okay. Good work,
Move
Hex.
on. Is that a new person?
It's Battery.
Oh. Is Battery a new person? Has Battery ever posted?
But Battery's been a patron of ours for a while.
Yeah, but has Battery ever shown art?
I don't think so. Battery jokes. Have you submitted something before? I know you've been a patron for a while.
Malthea, when are we going to see your art?
I've been too shy to post. Oh no.
Malthea's like, you see my art every day in the litter box.
Well, so yeah. Well, we're not critiquing it.
I would like you to critique my art, please.
Cat art.
It's called sculpting, Mother.
Stop. Okay. I did this in only an hour, so it's not as smoothed out as it could be.
Justifies. Sorry.
But just some general critique for color, shading, etc. Decided I should chuck something in since I haven't all this time. This is Cedric, the one with the feather hat, so the one in the foreground, and Morgan, the one in the top hat. they're being gay, and Cedric is my boyfriend's OC. So
I
yeah.
thought you were like Cedric is my boyfriend.
It's like what?
Hey,
boyfriend's
Rule's
OC.
my boyfriend. And
That's
my
also
son.
true. Hold on. Okay. So.
Being stepped on. She's stepping
I think colors wise, you've got an interesting thing happening here with the contrast. I think you've got some pretty good contrast going
on. Like
on.
a watercolor it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't bottle me.
She's snuggling hard. Okay. So, there's an interesting thing happening here where all of the focus is going to Morgan, because Morgan has like the lightest colors in the piece on him then.
Emma's always a safe bet.
Yeah. Because like the highlights are all like this color here, like the lightness on their like brow and their jaw and their neck and stuff, and then their hand as well. Whereas like everything else is darker colors. Like I noticed there's some like little white speckles and like white highlights and stuff, but like the biggest portion with the most contrast is like Morgan's face right here. So all the attention is going to Morgan so much that like when I first looked at it, I was like, wait, there's a person here?
Oh.
They're both him? Okay.
Oh, they're both he, him pronouns. I thought it was like him and himself from the past or something. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I wouldn't touch my past self's face. Because I don't like my face touched.
Not even by myself.
Of course not.
Leave Amalthea alone.
No, she wants the pets.
So I would recommend brightening up some of the colors elsewhere in the piece that you want some attention on. There's also like a vignette thing happening where it's very bright right here in the middle and it kind of radiates out in a circular motion so that it's darker everywhere else.
It's cool.
It's cool. I like it.
It's soft.
It is very soft.
It's gentle.
It's very gentle. I wouldn't touch my past self's angry face. They'd bite me.
Were you born a wolf? Were you a wolf child, June? Furries. Badger child.
Badger child. Raised by badgers.
I wouldn't touch his face because that's the face of a badger.
You shouldn't touch wildlife. But yeah, it's very soft. It's a cute moment. I think the colors do get a little bit muddy, and I think it's because you're shading with black and not saturated colors. Which isn't so bad for like the top hat and stuff, just because like you want it to like look black. I see that you've used some like cooler dark colors for it.
You shaded with Kool-Aid here. It was very nice.
But yeah, that looks
She's
real
digging
nice.
underneath me.
I didn't shade with black. My tablet just didn't process the colors as much. Oh, okay. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
But yeah, so the colors here, it looks like the shadows are all very like desaturated versions of the
it went
base
from
colors.
my tablet to my computer, and it got all janky.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. The color mode probably switched or something weird.
Possibly.
How
Okay.
do you preserve that?
I don't know.
Like Procreate?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so I won't go too hard on that then, if that's the case. But yeah, I think you can heighten the contrast on Cedric. Yeah, Cedric. Like you can bring in some highlights to the hair, and to the hats and the coat. But yeah, it's very soft. It's very cute. I like the cool colors. I like how they're contrasted with like the warm peachy colors, and like I love the eye color of this character. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the pinky purple. It's very soft, very cute.
The ear's a bit high, and with kind of like your stylization, it makes it look like kind of like a bunny ear
Yeah, it does.
a little bit.
It's like a little bunny ear.
Or I think it's like a cute like ear design,
Yeah.
but it just like I'd lower it down to where like human ears would be.
I also really like the implied background.
Yeah.
Because I can tell they're like standing on like a pier or a dock or something. You can see like the water in the background. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's 10 out of 10.
You
Yeah.
kind of lose the hands near the bottom with the dark brown.
Yeah, like I find you probably need like higher contrast between the hand here and the jacket and stuff. Just because like right in here it's all around the same value, and you might need to like brighten some stuff up.
Yeah. I like that there's like weight to like the interactions too.
Yeah.
Like it does feel 3D. Like everything's a little kind of like off in placement, sort of like with Ace of Pan. But it definitely like it feels weighty. It just it's like a dream. Where it's just like there's like moments of like clarity bits, but nothing quite connects entirely into like real stuff.
I like this section right here. Like you can feel the interaction there because you've got like
Even though the elbow's broken.
Yeah. Like there's some anatomy issues here. Like his shoulder is like way too tiny.
Yeah.
And like it looks like his arm like ends here instead of like feeling more 3D.
Yeah.
But what I really like here is like you can see his hand come up, and the lapel goes like over it here, but it goes under his hand here, and it just feels very like 3D and like touchable. It makes it feel very tactile, which is cute. Same with like the fingers going in through the hair is really like nice and makes it feel real. But yeah, there's small things like the shoulder probably needs to come out more. That would help with like the hand and stuff.
The face feels very stretched across the face.
Yeah, it feels like it's been like pulled down.
It's like he's kind of missing a forehead.
Yeah.
Like there's just like kind of stuff like that. Like I really appreciate that you're trying to make things very solid shapes. Like I can definitely see like you're trying to like that you can do stuff with like weight and things are interacting, and you're just gonna get better as you focus on it. But like his skull isn't formed.
I think
because like his hat wouldn't. It's very small. I don't know. Sorry. You're a smart, lovely person.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I do agree. It does feel kind of crunched. Because, like, if I followed what was here, probably be that. And then his hairline. Yeah, that's, like, a good placement for the hairline. The hat is probably too small for his head.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because, like, the hat would probably fit the skull a little bit more. But anyways, I think the main issue with the face is that everything's been pulled down away from the eyes. So like, I guess fine if he has like a long nose. Like I'm not sure what you're intending with that. I do like how sculpted the nose feels. Like you've got some nice like shadow underneath.
Yeah.
And like some cute little highlights here. Like his nose feels very real. And same with like the cheek area here. Feels like really nicely shaded, and it feels like it has a good like skin texture to it.
Hello, friend.
Hats are new to me. Hats are hard. I still have trouble with hats. I need to study more hats. But even if he has a long nose, I think it might be too long, and so I'd move it up here possibly.
I like this style.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And I think the mouth has been pushed way too far to like his chin.
Mm-hmm.
Give him more chin.
I like your lips.
Yeah.
Your lips have powerful structure.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of you for submitting.
Yeah, you did really good.
Stay strong.
I'm sorry if we're being very nitpicky. You did good.
You're powerful.
And powerful. You did a good job. I like the colors. I like the background. I like the framing. Everything feels very like
shaky hands.
weighty.
Oh no.
Shaky hands. Oh no.
You're fine.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just keep with that understructure.
Yeah.
That life studies.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I just love this little area in the face. Like it feels very real and textured and nice.
Very expressive.
And I like the hair. I like their different like hair textures. Yeah. You done good.
Yeah.
Is there any questions you have for us, Battery?
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Same, I start trembling during crit. Oh no!
I got fighty.
I get
I got drunk. Drunk and fighty.
I think I've gotten numb to critiques.
It's because you have me and I'm the meanest.
You're the meanest. I've also worked with like non-artists to get like feedback.
Oh, right, because you have a day job.
Yeah, we're like, my new boss is a designer, so he's a lot more communicative, but I used to have a boss who would just be like the worst with feedback, where I'm like, what does that mean? Anyways.
It needs to be more Beyonce.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And sometimes he'd be like, get rid of it, we're redoing it. And it's like, but I worked on this for a week.
You saw every stage.
Anyways. You're good. Ooh, I'm trembling, but it's Gucci. I laugh half the time for some reason. Oh no! Guys, I hope we're not making you nervous.
She taking your towel pen.
Monty, no! She purr. She take. She sniff.
Alright.
Okay.
Next one.
All y'all are doing really good, by the way. I'm really proud of you for submitting and putting yourself out there.
Okay, Moth Cry.
Moth Cry. Are you here, Moth Cry? I've been laughing and kicking my legs nervous, but it's good. Guys, I'm having secondhand anxiety from Battery. Oh no!
Let's have lunch after this, because we have 2 more. And then we'll come back for like a Twitch stream.
Oh, hell yeah.
I guess dinner.
Oh, hello, Moth Cry. Okay.
Hello.
So, 3 thumbnails from the middle of a scene, composition/layout critique, and the tone isn't very serious.
Okay. So let's go through these and try to figure out what's happening. Let's read them like they're comics.
Hell yeah.
It'll help.
Hell yeah.
What's that noise?
Me.
Don't bug Al. You're going to go bug Al, aren't you? Oh no. It's my video game horse here.
Lear appears. This comes out of nowhere.
Lear's a video game horse. If I go, he just appears from the ether. He comes and then comes running towards me. He loves me. Sometimes I give him chicken.
Okay, so we'll just go over what we think is happening, just so that we
Oh
can
my god, Amalfia's got me too.
see if we're reading everything correctly. So this first one, it looks like there's someone sitting in a chair. They're looking all sassy. And then someone's getting thrown against a bunch of shelves in front of them. And then someone else shows up. And they're talking. Okay, his hands were like attached to the chair. He's been freed. And then he runs. And running down a hallway. And then run into a door. They beep a little, what do you call it? Like a little pass card. And then...
Card key.
Card key, that's it. And then they're in a room with a computer.
Oh god, I saw your phone down and I got scared.
Amalthea just sees things and gets scared.
She did the little like
She
anxious
wasn't
egg squad.
She wasn't expecting it. She got anxious.
Oops, sorry.
It feels distracting. Okay, so then they're doing computer beep boops, and then a siren goes off, and they look happy about it. The wee woos are going off.
No, you can't tell me on.
And then there's, looks like a prison. And then it explodes. And then they're looking out the edge. Oh, and there's policies at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So, I hope we got that all right. Okay. So,
Like that hand.
the hands here.
That one.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
really
really
good. It's a good hand.
That's a really good.
Okay. So I really like the first panel. It's got really good flow to it.
Oh, I don't have a band-aid on. I just wrapped tape on my finger.
You silly boy. Okay. So I like the layout here.
Oh, you like it so much that you're falling asleep.
And, yeah, it's got good flow. It's got good framing from, like, the objects in the room. I think you could pull back this guy a little bit more. So make him a little bit smaller so there's more room to breathe. But I think you can keep this guy at this size. Admittedly, we're in the middle of a scene, so there might have been more establishing shots of this. So
Yeah.
take that with a grain of salt.
Salt's grain. Take it.
Hell yeah. This one's fine of him popping out of the chair. And his friend talking.
Where'd that guy come from? If it's established, it's fine.
Yeah, but if not, then you maybe need to show him coming into the room or whatever.
Cause is he the guy getting smashed into the thing?
I don't think so.
Oh. Okay.
Because this guy has, like, hair. This one doesn't.
That makes sense. Where'd the guy who got thrown go?
Oh, yeah. That's one thing. I think you could use this panel here to establish what happened to this guy. Because I can tell from... Because it looks like here it's, like, discarding... Wait. I read this wrong. I think he's pulling the key card off of the body.
Oh.
So I think that could be more clear.
Oh, is that a doorknob? That thing? A little circle? I thought it was like 3 people for a bit. Okay.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think that's
Okay.
a door.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah. Sorry, it's thumbnails, so don't worry about like the little like things like that. I understand.
totally.
Yeah.
But I think with this panel in particular, you could show more of the guy lying on the floor
Yeah.
and show it more clear. It looks like this guy has like psychic powers.
Yeah, well that makes sense.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because he threw him across the room.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I would show more of the body and show him pulling the key card off of the psychic powers. Just to establish more of the rooms. You could possibly change the second panel so you can see what happened to this guy in the background who got smashed. And then you can keep this panel the same and show him pulling off the key card. But I find this panel is just a little confusing the way it's framed. I can't really tell, like, who's where and what's what. This last panel's fine with them running away. I might pull out the background a little bit more, or pull it out a bit more so you can see more of the characters and the environment, show them running to the door. But again, if it's all set up previously, then you're good. I like this panel a lot where they're running toward the door with the key card and beeping it. and running into the server room. I think that's great. It establishes it real nice. Yeah, I like this page a lot. It's solid. It's good. It shows everything it needs to. I love this face. It's so cute. So wholesome. Actually, one thing I might change with the server room is instead of doing like a high up view, you might want to show maybe like something more like this, where you're keeping the camera consistent and not having it like jump up to the top. Like, I think I get what you were trying to do, where you're trying to show more of the room by showing it from above, but I think it would be better to just show keep it level, because it's a little bit jarring to jump from like face on like camera, like say the camera's like on a tripod on the ground and then suddenly you have it like up on a wall. That can be a little bit jarring. I'd recommend maybe keeping it down around the same level for these two shots. And part of the reason for that is this guy's over at like a control panel off to the side, which you can't really see because this kind of gets cut off at the computer. Whereas like it would be nice to show this important key panel thing that he's working on, where you might just want to focus on this corner of the room if that's all that's important in this room, instead of showing like this big space over here that we don't care about. It's not part of the story. I like this page a lot. I would recommend moving the building over and just getting rid of this stuff here. Why is that? Get rid of that. You don't need it. It's just pushing your layout all over to this side. So I'd recommend moving your buildings over. And bringing this... Like, I like the explosion over to the side a little bit, but I think you just need to fill up more of this side of the panel more. And I like this panel here. It's a really good focal point. Any feedback, Bones?
No.
No.
I'm sure you said it all. Really good.
But yeah, I think you're doing really well with like establishing things in a few shots here. Like this one is great. This top one on the first page, the top one on the second page, and your final panel on the last page are really great for setting up like the setting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I find throughout your pages, you do tend to jump around, a lot with your camera, which can be a little jarring. Like I mentioned with this one where you're doing like a flat view and then you suddenly jump up to the top. That can be jarring. And it just helps to not break like the 180 rule.
I don't think it's actually been broken in that chair.
I don't think, this one doesn't really break it.
I think I got confused in this one before, where I thought it was, but
the
with
first
context.
page?
With context, now that I looked at it, it's not. Yeah. The camera jumps around a lot. It's not too bad. I really appreciate that you pulled out a lot for some of these shots.
Yeah.
Though some of them still definitely need to, like, just pull out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one where the grabbing the key card and the leaving.
Yeah, these two need to be pulled out a bit. This one, I think you need to focus in over here.
These
more.
ones could actually just be one shot too, because just have the one person grabbing the key card as the other one's leaving, and then you can just kind of imply that, of course, that person's gonna follow if, like, it's implied if they move along with them throughout the rest of the scene. It's not gonna be like, oh, where did they come from? It's like, no, they stopped to grab the key card first.
That's true, because they do appear behind them in the next page, anyways.
Yeah. It just would become a lot less confusing. It's like, okay, we're off.
Yep.
Yeah. There's some times where I just don't know. It's not clear how much time passes between gutters, or sometimes it's really quick. Where it's like he goes from standing to leaving the room and grabbing something.
Yeah.
Unless that's not them. Sorry, I just pronouns. This person goes from being in the chair to now they're standing up and going. Whereas, like, if you find, like, one panel where you can see where they are in relation to the chair, where they're grabbing it as someone else is leaving, Like, if you can imply all three of those parts in one panel, it would be really strong.
Yes.
It'd be a difficult panel, but I think it would really lend well to that.
Mm-hmm.
It would explain it really well.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot you can do in a single image.
Yeah.
Where I find, I think we talked about this in the last stream, where a lot of people will break it down into like mini panels. You can just do it in one and just save yourself a lot of pain.
You save yourself a lot of pain, and it's a lot clearer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it can't be done in one panel, like, why not? Just
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Mm-hmm.
Concerns?
I love the way the explosion breaks the panel here.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
good. I love it.
Do it stronger. Like, yeah, if you push it in more, like Ursula's saying,
Yeah.
you got even more room.
You just move it over. I think it'll be like perfect.
Just explode that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the perspective in the last panel too. Like, this is great.
Heyo.
Hey, but yeah, I love you've got like lots of dynamic shots in here. They're
Yeah.
really nice.
I like it. Like, you're really improving with your storytelling.
Yes.
Your paneling and storytelling. Like, it's really a lot clearer.
Yep. I can tell a lot of what's going on even just from these thumbnails,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any questions you have or anything we've missed? Our neighbor's playing music as usual, very
Let them
loudly.
live.
No, only we're allowed to have fun.
Muffy looks cute right now.
He's always cute.
Super helpful. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have more nitpicks later. As you get better, we find new things to
That's
complain
true.
about.
As you guys get better and improve, the meaner we get.
Exactly.
The camera thing helps a lot. I think I should study film. It definitely helps. Like, there's definitely differences between film and comics because you can put more into a single frame in comics
Yeah.
than you can in film.
Because you don't want to start thinking of your comics as frames, because then you get the... Okay. You know, like Transformers, how it's really hard to look at, but if you pause it, each individual frame looks really cool. Like, that's the opposite with, like, the Transformers movie would be better as a comic because there's so much going on, and if you stop to look at it, it looks really cool. But in motion, it looks bad. Whereas comics, you want, like... You don't want to show every single motion because you just will clutter your page and cause a lot of work for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to imply emotion.
Yeah.
What films you recommend watching? Just watch like film theory type things. Just basics.
Yeah.
Like Skillshare tier, like stuff.
Yeah. There's lots of channels around they can watch. So just talk about like the basics of like film and stuff.
There's so many more people who talk about film when they do comics. So there you go.
Yeah. Totally. It does help to understand like camera and shot dynamics, but comics you can get a lot more creative,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, in different ways.
In different ways,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
They're like a tree where they like part at a certain point, but like they have kind of the similar trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. A lot of art is like that.
Same
like, they start
foundations.
branching off.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Is that it? If V is here,
Is V here? Because we're going to go over your script. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh,
Except for the visuals.
they all look so good.
I
You guys are all
know.
like getting so good.
You're a good artist.
You can really tell how dark that one piece is.
Mm-hmm, it's so
like
dark.
a little black void. It's such a good concept, though.
Mm-hmm. It tells so much story in one frame. Like, I always wanted to be able to do illustrations like that.
Yeah.
And it shows so much.
I always wish I could do that, says the girl who probably already can do that.
I was drinking water. I want to do that more. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
Man, I wish I could tell stories with my pictures, says the girl who just comics.
Shut up. Why you gotta do it to him?
Why you gonna do it to him? I guess it's mine.
Yeah.
It's my
I'm gonna go over the
business.
script.
Okay. So let me summarize for all of you out of the loop, because we got a script for the long form. So it's all in like word word format where it's like typa. So
Yeah.
V submitted it a while ago, and this is like a redo of it. It's the one about dance, but it's like sword fighting dance.
Yeah.
It's like an anime almost.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a made up sport. It seems
Yeah.
kind of like sword fighting and dancing
Okay.
and gymnastics, kind of.
And I think in the previous one, I said that it was kind of like slow to start up. And I didn't quite feel the conflict yet. Medica's singing. I think she's been singing the whole time. But I think the one that I got this month. Sorry.
Do you need me to deal with her while you talk?
Can you, yeah,
Okay.
deal with
I
Monica.
can-
The one that we got this month, I wasn't sure entirely what got changed. I know there was more to the scenes, and I think some of the exposition was cut out. But I still think it took a long time to get to the conflict, and I'm not entirely sure of the conflict and all that sort of business. I think I would preface everything I'm about to say with just continue moving forward with the script. I'd like to see more of it further on because it's really difficult to tell you what to do with your beginning and how to improve the beginning of your story if I don't know where it's going to go in the end. Because, as I've said a whole bunch in my videos, determining the beginning has a lot to do with knowing how things end and how things are going to progress. It did feel like I find that the scenes still don't really have very strong purpose or conflict. I feel like they're building to stuff, and again, if I have more context of what happens later on in the story, they might make sense. But one example of it is the last few pages of the comic. They have the tournament beginning, and everyone's like, "Oh no, who is this? Oh no, Elle has been paired up with this person, and this is a shock." And I have no idea who this person is, and I feel like that's sort of one of those things where you would want your reader clued in on it. Alternatively, I feel at this point, knowing what I do know about the story so far, is that around page 20 is a perfectly fine place to actually start your comic, because you have all of the elements already there. You have Elle doing dance. You have the parents there to be rude. You have Christian there, so you can start building things up. I might not front load it if I was to start it off at that point with every single character, but you could use the conflict that you bring in your first scene with the parents and Dario? Is it Dario? Darius into that opening scene where it's you're seeing Elle about to do an amazing feat, and oh, there's Darius. Why don't you do this? Just you can subtly add it. I know it's difficult to read scripts, because scripts are always going to read more boring than your actual work, because they're for you and not for other people to read, and there's lots of detail, which is moves a lot faster when you're actually looking at the story. But I do feel the scenes, I just didn't feel they were building too much. I didn't know what the main purpose of each thing was. It again kind of felt like Elle doesn't really have as much conflict going on until the very end, in which case I was okay, here's something here. It really depends on how it continues from that point. I felt Darius has conflict, but he was also kind of his conflicts all seem like they're happening in the past, whereas I don't know what his current struggle is. I still don't quite understand where he stands with things. And again, a million times. I just like I need to see it move forward before I can really tell how I feel about things. Because some stuff I might like later be like, oh, I understand why you did that now. But like right now, it's a very quiet, slow, kind of meandering opening. All the good stuff from previous will apply. I'm excited to actually see things happening. I'm excited to kind of see the tournament aspect. I think it'd be easier to tell what's going on in the story when I can like actually see the characters interacting, because I know it's difficult for me to follow names. And since it's not prose, you don't really have to worry about that. But if I saw their faces talking, it might give me a different read of things. And do they practice with like fencing swords? Because this was like my one critique, is they had wooden swords for their sparring, which would be really painful to get hit by. Like a wooden sword, you wouldn't want to do that, especially if it's a stabbing sword. Like there are wooden swords, but you're also in a time period where there's LCD screens. So I think that they would probably have like a typical like training sword, like a feather, or like not an actual feather. Those swords are called like feathers. But if they're doing like longsword fighting, even then you'd want like some sort of like synthetic sword and not a wooden sword, because wooden swords have the danger of like breaking and splintering, and they also hurt to be hit by.
Or you'd probably be
But I know someone was doing like a fencing maneuver, in which case you wouldn't want wood, because wood doesn't have the same sort of spring as it entirely. It'd be stiff. There are like bamboo ones which are fine, but like they probably wouldn't be doing that if they're using like those kind of swords. Yeah, I'd just be careful with. I just complaints. That was just my nitpick about the wooden sword fight.
That was a very specific nitpick.
It just rubbed. I was just like, oh no, don't fight with wooden swords, because I know like there's like katana wooden swords which are fine for like when you're doing what is it? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like fencing, you're not going to be using.
Yeah, because fencing, like the swords are pretty springy.
Yeah.
And bendy.
Yeah. Ursula,
Yeah.
what are your opinions? I'm sorry if I sounded so negative. I think I like it.
Yeah.
I like all the concepts and stuff. I'm me.
I think reading through it, I had the same issue with a lot of the scenes where I was kind of like, where is this going? I don't see what like the purpose of this scene was. There was, okay, so like a scene, there always needs to be like multiple things going on in a scene where like you're setting up character, you're giving new information to the reader, you're like racketing up tension. But I never felt any like tension building. Like we get tidbits about character. Like,
I have a freaking comic about sword fighting. Like, of course I know about sword fighting.
He does his research. But yeah, so like we get tidbits about character, like we learned about Darius' past and like his relationship with his brother and his parents. I found like we got lots about Darius and a little bit about Elle. We don't get much about Skylar, I found. But I never felt any like tension raising. Like it felt like the only tension that was there was like Darius is going to the meet, his parents will be there, he's nervous about it. But like I know Skylar's an important character. I'm assuming he's the romantic interest. I could be wrong there. But like their interactions didn't feel like poignant or purposeful. It didn't feel like it was setting anything up between them.
Writing is hard.
It's really hard. Like when I write, I'm no better. But it just felt very meandering. Like it didn't feel like it was like building to anything. And I think you'll figure out what you need to build to by writing further and seeing what you need. Because, like, when we read further and we see, like, Elle being introduced to, like, this Felix guy who's, like, she's gonna fight, like, knowing that he's gonna show up later, it's really important to put tidbits about, like, oh, there's this really threatening challenger for Elle earlier on and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious about where it goes. I'd be excited to see what this sport looks like, because just the concept sounds really cool. I think we probably talked about the last time we looked at the script, but I'm just like, ooh. I like it because it's like, it's a sports anime about, like, sword fighting. I like it.
I think it's, for the meandering, I feel like we're getting a lot of loose threads, where I feel like you want things to, like, connect. You kind of want each new scene to kind of build off of the next. Where we had the flashback with Darius, like, I think this is kind of the perfect example, and it goes into his insecurity about his looks, and then we drop it rather than build further off it. It kind of feels like we go up and then we do a hard left to something else, and then we build that up and we do a hard left, where you want them to kind of start, like, knitting together and building a bigger picture of, like, what this is all going to be about. And it's really hard, and you know.
Yeah. It would also be like, I find Darius's position right now is very passive. Because, like, you want your character to have, like, a really specific goal, and they're always trying to reach it throughout the story. And, like, stuff just gets in their way, so they can't reach their goal. So I have a feeling that it's being, like, it seems like there's being hints that, like, he might get into the sport again himself. Mm-hmm. And right now his goal seems to be, like, I want Elle to do well in this. But he's not, like, doing anything to help Elle.
Yeah, I think I really need to, like, see more of it and see where it goes. Totally. Because once I feel like once we reach the conflict, I'll probably see where this whole thing kind of begins. I find it really hard to always find the beginning of a story in, like, new writers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how often you write or how many you've done before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
It's difficult. But no, I just mean it's just, I can usually find the beginning at some point. Because the beginning usually gets buried by a bunch of stuff. And that's, like, just a typical thing to do. I did it. I did it. Everyone I've critiqued has kind of been like that before. So, you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're not here, though.
Yes. Because I would love to talk about it with you personally, B.
Yeah. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the critique Discord section, V, since you're not here.
Yeah.
And we can answer them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to see a side-by-side of, like, the past two pieces to really see the differences.
Mm-hmm. I noticed it was quicker. Like, it wasn't bogged down by a lot of exposition, which really helped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, it felt a lot more character driven instead of getting into the details of, like, what dance is before even showing it off, which I think was something we recommended. V's here. I'm working on the tension point at the minute, so it makes sense that it's hard to see where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Once I see where it is, I probably can help a lot more and kind of help. Like, it'd be a lot more helpful for me to just be like, okay, so this is your main conflict. Help you see. You are here. Okay. I just feel bad when I talk about someone who's not here.
So rude. I'm sorry. I feel bad because I feel like I'm making a lot of assumptions about your story, which is something that bothers me when people just make wild assumptions. I
don't want to make any wild assumptions. This is just,
Yeah.
All right. But if you have anything, let us know.
Yeah.
Because if not, I want soup, and then we'll be back on Twitch.
Yes, we will be continuing our stream, not doing critiques, just doing our chill art stream over on Twitch.
And if you don't want to be on Twitch, next stream is my birthday stream, where you will draw me wool and nothing but wool. Everyone draws me wool.
We're going to have to do an early stream, because we have to go to your dinner at, like, we have to be there at, like, 3:30.
No, we can do a later stream and come back.
Oh, when we come back.
Yeah, we could do a later stream, because then we can stream the night away.
Oh, hell yeah. For your birthday.
Because I get drink.
Bone's birthday.
Because you can't drink.
Oh, right, you can.
Yeah. No, you can after.
Oh, after.
You can't drink if we do it before, but if we do it after medieval times, then you can drink.
You're right.
And give me my presents, because you got me them, right?
Hell yeah. It's okay, I'll just ding you later on Discord. Okay. But yeah,
Alright.
let us know if you have any specific questions. Fado's barking at us.
I bet I can draw more Lules than you. Is this a fight, Ursula?
We're fighting.
Who you fighting?
Who you fighting?
My
We're on-
wife?
Don't fight my wife. Don't fight my husband. I'll
No.
hack you up if you fight my husband.
I have like this vision of Lul and Aurora dancing
Ooh,
at like doing like swing dancing together. It's so cute.
this is very cute.
She's like got her lower arms on his butt and
that's the
top one's doing
benefit.
some swings.
Hell yeah. Can draw more Lules than both of you. I can take on both of you. I could beat up a badger. Actually, a badger would probably take me down. Why did take down June?
Not if you have a gun
Whoa. Whoa.
or a car.
Bringing a car to a badger fight.
Alright.
Okay, so that's
Let's
it.
get soup and free these dogs.
Okay, so we will continue on twitch.tv/McCann.
In like an hour or
And
so.
like, yeah. Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ooh, woo. Thanks for coming, everybody. Mwah.